Oh, last one. That's a lot of computers. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I have a bunch of computers ranging from different sizes, eras, hardware, and even manufacturers all here that, well, I need to do something with. So in this video I'm going to do something I haven't done quite yet, and that is I'm going to be, well, tearing down a bunch of these computers, seeing what's in them, power testing them, see what works, and then from there see what's going to be staying down here in the casual hoard collection, and which ones are going to be used for future, well, scrapyard trade-ins for much more desirable units. So just take a look at them and see what's all here. Okay, so a little bit of a backstory with all of this. And I'm sorry, but my neighbor just started mowing as I moved the camera. But my friend had called me and said that the church that he's involved with and does a lot of stuff with was clearing out a bunch of their old closets of a bunch of old technology and computers because they're updating their entire system, everything from the ground up, and getting rid of everything that's not, well, at least 1 or 2 years old. And he asked if I wanted first pick of a lot of the stuff because a lot of it was just going to go to e-waste or to the scrapyard. And I said, absolutely. Because in my experience, a lot of churches keep around a lot of their old tech for the longest time. So they have some sort of old computer to kind of let, you know, little kids mess with like games and that kind of stuff while at the church. And this is not all of it. This is some of it, not all of it. Some of them were broken, smashed. I saw they had broken components, or I saw that somebody had already stripped everything out of it and it was just basically the shell at that point. This was the stuff that was at least still intact and at least interesting in any way. And obviously the monitors I didn't take because I got too many VGA monitors at this point. So yeah, we're going to well, take a look and see what each of these are, and then we're going to open them all up, see what's in them, power test them, and go from there. Starting at the top of the stack, we have this Dell Optiplex slim form factor desktop machine. So this is one of those business machines or you know, small business, home use machines that popped up everywhere. These Optiplexes were everywhere, especially in this form factor. If you recall from my XP computer build, my XP gaming computer was the full-size tower version of one of these. And as you can imagine, I've had several of these over the years that I've scrapped and stripped and just tossed because, you know, these aren't really all that good for upgrades and stuff, but I am tempted to keep this one because if the sticker is correct, this would be the only AMD powered Optiplex I've ever come across of this era and architectural design. So let's see what it looks like when we crack into it. Below that, we have a custom full ATX tower of some kind, which I don't know fully what's in here, but I have to be very careful when I'm moving it around because the gentleman I talked to, they'd already pulled the drives out. They left the video cards in it. They pulled the RAM, and the kid that was helping them tear this thing apart was overzealous and undid the cooling fan because he wanted to see if the CPU could be used because he thought it was a gaming machine, and you know, apparently it's way too old for anything. So he wiped off the thermal paste and he left it in there because when he saw that it was way too old for anything. So I'm kind of curious what's in here because I bet it's gonna be kind of neat. Next to that, we have one of these more modern HP towers. It's the newest one I think of the bunch. It's a 7th Gen i7. There's a sticker on the side that says what's in it, so I'll have to look at that when we get to that point. I'm pretty sure that's not going to be, you know, worth anything of keeping. A Dell Optiplex GX110. I've actually been looking for one of these for a while because these are kind of neat. These are that very late 90s, very early 2000s machines that ran Windows 98 or Workstation or NT or Millennium. And, you know, I've been kind of looking for one of these, you know, late 90s, early 2000s, you know, very small form factor Optiplexes because they have a very limited upgrade path, but they're still kind of neat. Plus, it has a laptop-sized disk drive, which most laptops at the time didn't even have this. So that's actually pretty interesting. We have some sort of e-machines, a little ADB, tiny thing. I can just imagine what's going to be in here because it's AMD powered and Windows 7. And it's e-machines. And if I'm thinking correctly, I think this is one towards the tail end of when e-machines was really starting to die off. In fact, I think this was one of their last units, if I remember correctly. Another Dell Dimensions here. This is a C521. Now, I find this design interesting because this is more of like a workstation type appearance. In fact, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, Dell during this time also had big, full ATX server chassis that kind of had this design motif going. So it kind of has that design of like a server blade, even though it's not. Also another AMD machine. I'm finding it very curious that most of these are AMD. Most of these are kind of AMD based. Kind of makes me wonder what's in that one. We have a Dell Dimension 3000 with which a broken front cover. So yeah, I'm kind of curious what's in here because I have like 2 or 3 of these that I want to tear all them apart and build one good one, because I do have a lot of fond memories of these 3000s. These were in our middle school for the longest time, and I was going to buy one of these when they were getting rid of them, but I never did because I wanted an XP gaming computer, but just never did because, well, you know, technology moves so fast. We just didn't do it. And then the final one I want to test is this Apple iMac. Now I don't know how old it is of the model. I'm assuming it's older because it's got a square screen or squarish screen. But I'm kind of hopeful that it's at least new enough to run some sort of modern browser. Because like I said, I need a more modern Apple to make the installation media for like the iMac G3s and the Power Mac G4 and that kind of stuff. I need a functional one. So let's start with the Dell Optiplex. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I very rarely come across a bunch of computers at once. Usually it's 1 or 2 at a time and bring it out here from my shelf. And then when I want to make a video like this, I forget what computers I've grabbed during that time, and it just doesn't seem, well, correct to do a video of a found computer lot if I don't remember which one was in it. It kind of seemed a little untrustworthy in that eye. So that's why I'm doing all these at once. All right, let's take a real good look at this. We have microphone and headphone up front, 2 USB ports. We have a 3.5-inch expansion bay. We have a full-size, looks like a DVD-ROM drive. Interestingly, we have a Windows Vista Business OEM. So this was a business machine, and this says Windows 7 Premium for refurbished PCs. Oh, I hear something on the inside kind of moving around. Let's see, we have the not fully standard-ish ATX-ish power supply. Audio in, audio out, Ethernet, 5 more USB ports. None of them say super speed or anything, so I'm assuming they're just 2.0. We have parallel, serial, VGA, and a DVI port. So we have some sort of video card in here. So, cool. I love these toolless designs. Ta-da! Ooh, that's dusty. Not too bad, though. Okay, so we have the weird shaped power supply, DVD. We have the hard drive below there. We have some RAM, CPU cooler. What kind of video card is this? It's just a bare PCB. Like it's like some sort of pass-through. Okay, well, let's just power it up and see if it works. And if it works or not, I'm still going to tear it apart and see what the hardware is in here, because I'm kind of curious by what CPU this is. All right, so I got it plugged in. I just noticed the CMOS battery is gone. And I thought I heard something moving around in here. Yeah, this was near the bottom of it. So I don't know if somebody threw it in here or what. I hope it didn't short nothing out. Do I need to hook that up to the DVI port or the VGA port? Let's try either one. Oh, I can't use that. Okay. So I can't use my DVI adapter here because, as you can see, it's got these 4 pins, which this card, whatever it is, does not. So, all right, let's power it up. I'm getting an orange light and no signal. Okay. Pull that card out, just see if that's stopping it. Oh, that's cool. That whole back panel kind of comes off. I guess for modular builds or something? Okay, let's try that again. Nope, we're dead. Okay, so since it's dead, this is probably going to go to the scrapyard for just getting rid of. But let's strip any good parts out of here, and I'm going to curious for that CPU. Let's take a look at it. And yes, I've torn apart way too many of these. I know how they come apart. Okay, we have a generic DVD multi-recorder with DVD Plus rewritable support, all the way from 2009. Yeah. For hard drive, we have pretty marked up. We have GLXY P47A, Endicott of 13, 750 gig. Cool. So yeah, what I'm going to do is after getting stripping this one down, when I'm editing all this, I'm going to research what the full specs of this thing used to be. Because, you know, I'm kind of curious what the original drive was supposed to be. And what the hell this card is, because it's like just some sort of TVI pass-through, which makes no sense. We have two matching sticks of 2 GB each, so this thing had 4 gig. That actually is not, it's actually not too terrible. Like this thing would have made a decent like backup server or something. Oh man, okay. This is one thing why I don't like AMD a lot. But it's a socket AM2, so I'm kind of curious what that could be. Okay, and we have a AMD Athlon, not bad. Number AD0508-1AA5DO. I will Google this and put the specs when I get done. So, I'm going to keep that. So yeah, this thing is now going to the scrapyard. No point in keeping around a, you know, dead machine. Alright, next is the HP, which, here's the sticker on the side, is a Pavilion 460-P2474, the go-to tower at a go-for-it price. Funny. Stylishly redesigned tower. Redesigned from what, exactly? Dual displays, perfect for productivity. We have reliable and proven technology with Windows 10. Ooh, this thing's actually pretty nice. We have a 7th gen 7700T processor, which, if I remember correctly, those were lower base clocked. We have 8 gig of DDR4 2400. That's pretty useful. I can keep that around for stuff. 16 gigabyte Optane memory. This is an Optane drive in it. 1 terabyte hard drive. HD graphics 630. Wireless LAN and Bluetooth with a DVD writer. And for some reason that case is a little janked. Okay. Oh yeah, that's actually pretty sparse and bare. But it is an actual ATX power supply. I was expecting this to be one of those 12 VO machines. But yeah, there's that M.2. I think that's the Optane drive. 1 stick of RAM. And a very, very small cooler, if you can see that. So yeah, let's just power it on and see if it works. Now I'm assuming this thing's going to be password protected, so if it is, I'm not going to worry about it. Alright, next to the power button. Where's it at? Ooh. Do I have a signal? Please wait. VGA. It's booting. Okay, cool. So yeah, it works. So I know at least everything's working on it, I think. Oh. Power it down and strip her down. And yeah, this is just one of those machines that's not really not suitable for keeping. Yeah, like I said, these modern ones I'm probably not going to keep intact. I'm probably more likely going to just strip these. But it's kind of neat to see what's in here. Alright, and we have a 1 terabyte SATA drive from Seagate. I might format this and keep this as a backup drive for my server. I do have some 1 terabyte drives in there I use for just overflow stuff, so yeah. And yeah, I know this is not the most exciting video, me stripping modern towers, but if I would have had retro towers, it would have been a lot more fun. So we have an 8 gigabyte Samsung stick. That could be useful. I am trying to actually get some parts to upgrade my server, because right now it's DDR3 and it's an older machine. I would like to upgrade at some point to DDR4 based system. So, all right, we have a pretty dusty and very, very thin cooling fan. And there we go. There's the. Actually, the thermal paste is pretty. I bet somebody refreshes at some point, because that was still very wet. i7 7700T, a 2.9 gigahertz quad core, if I remember correctly. There we go. A 16 gigabyte Intel Optane drive. These are actually pretty useless nowadays because these used to be used as a cache if you had a standard drive. It acted like a quick cache SSD apparently, but yeah, 16 gigabyte. So now I finally have one. So I might have to find a use for that actually. And the reason why I'm not keeping this one is because the case is tweaked. I think it's been dropped or something. Yeah, look at that. The case has been tweaked. All right, to the junkyard. Up next is the E-Machines. Powerful and sleek. This is the EL1352-51. Another rolls off the tongue name, doesn't it? Multitasking, view and edit photos, build a music library, search the webs, watch and burn DVDs with Windows 7 Home Premium 64-bit. AMD Athlon 2 170U, so I don't need to do any research on that. The NVIDIA GeForce 6150 SE graphics. I need to search that up, see what it's equivalent to. DVD Super Multi-Drive, 500 gig hard drive, 2 gig of DDR3, and a all-in-one media card reader. Yeah. Do you work? Alright. On the back we have the audio in and out ports, Ethernet, 4 USB ports, VGA, PS2 mouse and keyboard. That is funny. How old is this again? Then we have 4 more USB up front, mic, headphone, I'm sorry, a 5th USB port, SD, and CF card. So this thing actually isn't all that new. This thing's actually pretty old. Let's just see if it works. I mean, either way, this one's probably going to be stripped as well. I just noticed the VGA thing's missing a nut. Huh. Ooh, that sounded off. Oh, that's a cool light up light, though. Does it work? Beep. Light. Please hold. Video for VGA. Did not shut down. Okay, but it does work. Yeah, like I said, I'm not too hyped up on keeping these modern ones just because they're just... There's really not a whole lot of use to this weird era of machines. And a lot of these are just better off used as parts. And I know that's the whole e-waste thing, and yes, I probably could recycle this for something. But, I mean, the number of CPUs this thing could probably use isn't all that great. And that's actually pretty clean. So this is from 2010, apparently. I bet it's like every other e-machine I've stripped. God, this thing's built so cheap, it's flexing me trying to get the screw out. Frickin' e-machines and your crap here. Okay, so we have the 500 gig very slim hard drive and another SATA generic DVD drive. Add those to the stack. By the way, I'm kidding about keeping these hard drives. Even though the guy that told me about them trusts me to wipe these, I actually take a hammer and destroy them and then take them to the scrapyard. I do not keep drives. I don't even plug them into my system. Basically I'm just going to take a screwdriver with a hammer and pound through the platter here and then throw these in the scrapyard. I do not keep drives. So yes, I am kidding when I say I keep them. Alright, for RAM, what did we have? This thing said originally it came with 2 gig. Oh. Okay, I got called away because my kid woke up from his nap. But yeah, what are they doing? RAM? Ow. And I cut my finger open. Great. Anyway. Content warning for blood. Yeah, we have 2 matching 1 gig sticks, PC3. That's going to be pretty useful. I'm not sure for what yet, but I'll find a use. So yeah, this is probably going to be destined for the scrapyard anyway, because these e-machines really aren't all that great, even when they were new. Yeah, like I said, I really wish that I could have got a lot of like those old beige dinosaurs, because those would have been a little more interesting to do. And for once, an AMD processor did not come off with the cooler. That's a very like. So yeah, this is the one off that Intel one. This is off the AMD. Look how just sparse that is. And I get it's a low wattage CPU, but still got under the thermal paste, which is all dried out. We have an AMD Athlon 2. It is a AD170UEAK13GM. I will look up to see what that is, and I'll put the specs here as I ring that off. So yeah, more scrapyard trade-in fodder. All right, now we have this really cool Dell Dimensions C521. I just remembered I didn't have that light on. Anyway, yeah, really cool. I'm not gonna keep it. I'm still gonna strip this one down. I'm pretty sure this one might not even work. Yeah, we have headphone and mic in and out. 2 USB ports. I don't see the super speed logo, so I'm pretty sure there's 2.0. Standard size drive, 3.5-inch drive. Windows XP Media Center 2005. We have Ethernet, 4 more USB, a 6-channel audio setup, and VGA. All right, kind of started right up when I plugged on the power. Am I? Oh, it works. But I don't know if you can see it though. That jittering, the whole screen's kind of jittering. Okay, so, well, it works, which is surprising. So, let's tear it apart. And just like most of Dells from this era, we have the quick release mechanism. Does this come apart the same way as the last one? It does. All right, we have a Sony DVD-ROM. Yeah, just real generic. Okay, I just went to try and find a Band-Aid for my thumb. I can't find any. I think my wife took them all. Anyway, let's see what do we got for RAM. We have 2 500 megabyte PC2 sticks. Fascinating. I think it's been a while since I've come across any RAM sticks that's in the megabytes. And we have a measly 80 gigabyte Western Digital drive. That is surprising to me. But actually, you know what? I'm actually tempted to keep this one because I do have a lot of machines that could use these lower capacity. I'm sorry, relatively speaking, lower capacity. Sorry, I am thinking back to my current PC, which has a 500 gigabyte SSD in it for video file storage. Low of 80 gigabyte. That's actually pretty average for this time. All right, and what kind of CPU are we rocking? I am actually curious because most of these say like Core 2 or Core Quad or Pentium 4. This one just says AMD 64 Athlon. Yay, that's got a lot of thermal paste on it. Athlon 64 ADA 3200. Ooh, that's actually a pretty fast one, actually. I don't think I have a 3200. I'll have to put up the specs because I think that's actually like, was it 2 point? How was that? I don't think it's actually 3.2 gigahertz. I think it's more like 2.4 gigahertz. I'll put the specs up here when I research it. Hey, another junkyard, or scrapyard, tradable machine. The Dell Optiplex GX110. That is a gorgeous front design. So we have no USB, no nothing on the front. We have mic, audio in, audio out, 2 expansion slots, which are gone. Ethernet, which is a nice addition. We have VGA, serial, 2 USB, another serial, parallel, and yeah. So this doesn't surprise me that it has serial and parallel because this being a workstation machine, in fact, Windows NT Workstation 4.0. I am going to track that OS down and reinstall it in here. So, let's see if it works. And yeah, one of these days I'm going to do a retro PC haul test. But until then, please don't blow up. Ooh. Light is green. Please tell me you're going to boot. Or at least post. Oh, yes! Copyright 2000. Okay, so yeah, I was right. Late 90s, early 2000s. Amount of system memory has changed. Shouldn't have. So this is going to be one of the rare cases I actually do keep a drive, because I kind of want to see. Oh god, I love how that comes apart. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? We have the mystery Pentium 3. I'm assuming it's Pentium 3 CPU with a kind of a neat cooler. It says 306 EM on it. I doubt that's it. We have an Intel 810 video chip. I believe that's the video chip for this. We have a 3-com chip, the low profile slim drive. And here's something weird. There's a power cord, but the power supply is way under here underneath the drive, it looks like. I have no idea. You know what? Actually, you know what? I'm not going to turn this thing yet, because I'm going to restore this thing. I'm going to restore it, put some expansions in it, upgrade the RAM, reinstall the operating system. So yeah, I'm not going to turn this one yet, just yet. This one's actually going to be a restoration project, because I have another one I want to restore as well. So I'll do a whole video of restoring these really cool little compact desktops. So yeah, we'll just do it then. Okay, so now we have this iMac here that I want to test. Now, I don't know anything about this, and the only thing that's wrong with it, that I can see, is that it's missing the RAM cover, but that shouldn't be too big a deal. Spec-wise, it is and I'm reading off the bottom here, we're a iMac 20-inch 2.66, 2x1 gig, 320 gig, then it says SD. I just want to see if it works, or at least powers on, because I know it's going to need restored, but... Ooh, I hear noises. Boot chime that powers up. Good. Uh-oh. Okay, but anyway, it powers on. I mean, I know that's not a great thing, especially on Apples, because they can be a little temperamental and that kind of stuff, but, yeah, I'll do some research. But I need to figure out how to tear this thing apart anyway, because there's no screws or seams anywhere, so I'll actually need to look up how to do this. Yeah, I'll get a plan going for this one. So yeah, it kind of sort of works. This Dell Dimensions 3000. Actually, I don't care if this thing works or not, because I have like 2 or 3 more of this body style type-esque, you know, Dell. Yeah, all those little tabs are broken off. This one might just be parts for those machines once I get things going with them, but it has 2 of these matching drives, which actually might be a good thing. Yeah, let's just plug it in and see if it powers on, and if it does or not, we're just gonna... Why are these all powering up as soon as I plug them in? Oh! I had a boot screen. Invalid configuration, please run setup. Performing iMac IDE. Okay, so it surprisingly works. Like, really surprisingly. I mean, not that I really care, because it's going to be a parts machine for the others, but IDE hard drive, which I don't think this one supported SATA. No, this one did not. Some of these did. We have 2 256 megabyte DDR1 RAM sticks. Oh, classic. DDR 400 megahertz CL3s. Yeah, you young kids in your CL16 DDR4s and DDR5s, we were rocking CL3s back in the day. Yeah, we have a 54 megabit per second wireless PCI adapter. That's actually a pretty newer component, actually. I actually might keep that and put it in the Dimension 3000 when I get the other one working. I see some bulged caps, so this one might be... Oh wait, no, those aren't bulged, that's just dust. I will worry about turning this thing apart later when I get to the restoration of the Dell Dimensions 3000, because like I said, I have some personal history with these machines, and I have a couple of them, so I want to just build one kind of uber powerful-ish one for, yeah, just messing around with, so yeah. Alright, so if anyone recognizes this case, let me know, but we have a big full ATX case, 4 drive bays with a Blu-ray drive of some kind and some sort of Asus drive. Is that Blu-ray too? No, just multi-drive. Around the back, we have twin video cards and some sort of Republic of Gamers motherboard. How long has Republic of Gamers been around? But anyway, yeah, we're missing the power supply, and I can see there is the like I said, the heatsink is unhooked, so I'll just see what's in here. Yeah, that heatsink's just... Like, that is a beefy boy. With a copper slug in the middle. Okay, so we have a Republic of Gamers Rampage 3 Gene. Good God, this thing is massive. Is that 6 RAM slots? And 8 SATA ports? Alright, so what are we rocking? Whatever it is, SLI. I got me an SLI bridge now. Awesome. So the CPU is a big boy. Oh my gosh. Like, that almost looks like an old Xeon. We have a Core i7 930. I need to look up what that is because that is a big beefy chip. Good God. So yeah, I'm gonna go Google that real quick and see what that is. Ooh, okay, so this is an LGA 1366 board. This is actually, that's basically one of the Core Extremes of the first generation of the Core i series. That is, oh my God. It has 3-channel RAM, so I can put 24 gigabyte of RAM on this board. That does not seem that impressive nowadays, but considering this was just after the Core 2 line, like this is the first of the Core i series and one of the first i7s, or at least of that era anyway. So yeah, triple channel RAM support, so I can run 6 identical RAM sticks for 24 gig. That's actually impressive for this era. That's not even a full ATX board. I'm just seeing that now. It's not full ATX. Oh man. Look at that beauty. What are we? This thing is rocking the GTX 550 Ti overclocked 1 gigabyte GDDR5. Oh man, this thing would be a oof. And this board's got everything. Supreme FX sound, BIOS flashback feature. God, this board would have been a monster back in the day. So I have a problem. I can't power test this board right now. I do have DDR3 RAM. I could pop in here and test, but I absolutely do not have any more thermal paste left. I am out of thermal paste. Yeah, I'm gonna have to power test this later. I mean, I really want to test out these cards and that board, but I'm gonna have to do that later. So dang it. So yeah, that's testing out a lot of computers, 20 years worth of computers actually, with that GX 110 being the oldest at 2000 and the most recent one being that HP, which was 7th gen, which was 2017, 18, 17. Maybe that's the most interesting thing, because obviously I would have preferred if they were all from the 80s and 90s, you know, do a big stack of, you know, beige dinosaur goodness, but I couldn't be too picky considering I got them from a church and they were just giving them to me, so couldn't be too picky. Plus, I was going to be stripping these things down anyway, and I decided, you know, maybe I should make a video on it, see if it's, see if it'd be fun to do. And it actually was pretty fun. Pretty surprising that most of them actually worked in some degree. Obviously, I couldn't test this one out, but I'll fix that at some point. I need to get some more thermal paste. So the plan is the 4 newer towers at the Optiplex 740, the HP, the E-Machines, and that Dimension C521. Those are going to go to the scrapyard for trading in for beige dinosaurs that are there, if there's any there. That's kind of what I do. I put them in a stack out in the garage, and then I'll check in there. If I see one, I'll set it aside, swap it out, and do it later. The Dell Dimension 3000, that probably is going to go to, just because I already have 2 or 3 others. That's going to be part of a restoration, massive restoration video that I have planned. The GX 110 is going to be restored, obviously. The iMac I want to restore, just got to figure out why I didn't want to fully boot. And then this monster, I don't know what I'm going to do with yet. God, I would love to find something to do with it. Just because it just, everything about it sounds cool. You know, Rampage 3, Core i7 Extreme, Ti, you know, 550 Ti overclocked in SLI. You know, I want to do something with this. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I'll find something to do with it. But anyway, yes, I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, put down in the comments section any comments or thoughts or questions about any of these machines that I showed off, or if you have any knowledge of any of these parts and hardware, put them down in the comment section. And that being said, I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.